I had to join bad gangs to steal the exam paper at the office. It was something I was not used to. My name is Oluwanifemi Adebowale Victor. I acted as Mike. Mike is a young boy who was desperate about gaining admission into the university and believing that through that admission he can, find his purpose. But let me say, unfortunately, fortunately for him, or luckily for him, he gained the admission and he mingled with the wrong company, which led him to, a very wrong act. And on the long run, or let me say, at the end, he was expelled from school. So from there, he learned his lesson that he could actually find purpose with God and not through admission. Should I say yes in a way? Because also, before I gained the admission into the university, I was so desperate to find to gain the admission, because I know at least, even if I'm going to find purpose in life, I used to believe that at least the first thing for me to, have is to gain the admission, and while on campus I can do one or two. But thank God, though, that was how it was related, with desperation to gain admission and finding purpose. I think my role was a mixed form of emotions. Why? Because from the onset it was like anticipatory. Then when I got at the place, at the part of the movie where I was on campus, I felt elated, and having to have a very low grade, especially at that place. So I had to play a very key emotion in acting as if I had failed, and from there being rusticated again. So should I say I had to key into that emotion of being sad consistently. I think at the point I had to join the, can I even remember now? These boys.
The thugs.
Okay, the bad gangs. Okay, at that point I had to join them to steal the exam paper at the office. It was something I was not used to, but I was happy I could play that role excellently, to my capacity. In my own words, I would say this movie is just an eye-opener, and a movie that tells the young ones that are upcoming to find purpose. And finding purpose is not just about pursuing money or hustling or gaining admission or scoring A's. It is all about finding God first. You can't find the purpose in a life which was created by God. God gave you the life, and you can't find that purpose outside Him. So purpose in life centers around God Himself. Everyone needs this movie. It is not only for the youth, of course. It is most importantly for the youth outside there, the young minds. It is also for parents, adults, because through watching this movie, they can also learn one or two ways in which they can train up their children in the way they can find their purpose in God. There were a lot of them. There are a lot of memorable moments on set. I think the one I could remember was I can't even remember the scene now. I think the place I had to be sleeping on the bed and putting off clothes. There was a lot of background comments that would just get you laughing on the long run. And even at the first scene, being over the bridge, comments from outsiders. There were a lot of memorable moments that I could remember. Hey, one word is not enough to
They use as many words
to describe our director, because at some point he's calm, at some other point I don't know the word to use. He's not calm. It will be like, I have so minutes to go. PM, this and that. So I was like, what's wrong with this director, sir? But at some, most of the time he's always calm, and I should give him the credit. It's a movie anyone should not miss. Everyone who wants to find purpose, everyone who is outside there trying to make it, trying to be what God has ordained them to be. So it's a movie everyone must watch, both adults and the youth. Yes, the road to Telos can be seen on all social media platforms. On YouTube, you can see it at Forward Baje Israel and other social media platforms at Easy Multimedia Productions. My final word for the audience is sit down, anticipate, relax, and get ready to find purpose.